Welcome into the PHNX Suns VIP Lounge, brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe.
Let it ride.
Smith.
Let it ride to the hook. Let's go.
That's
Keep
Saul
going.
Bookman. That's Espo. And
We need a sexy saxophone today, Leah.
Week by the Phoenix Suns, adding to that win column, defeating the Milwaukee Bucks 131.
We're almost there.
107.
Almost there.
How you guys feeling?
Oh, give us the funky.
We need that funky. We need that funky jazz.
Get
Turn it up.
funk.
Turn it up.
Oh, the sax music thing.
There we go.
There we go. The Phoenix Suns are the best team in the NBA. Suck it, Milwaukee. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What a great win. Like all around, that was a solid win by the Phoenix Suns. It was so much fun. It was good basketball. Great to see Deandre Ayton out there just doing the damn thing, too. We'll get into him a lot, too.
We will get into him a lot, but yeah, it was a solid game from top to bottom. It's almost as if the Phoenix Suns know what they're doing.
I mean, one could say that.
And guess what? There's more people coming to join the party.
I know.
Torrey
right?
Craig and Aaron Holiday weren't even here yet.
Yep. This team has a lot of depth. I mean, okay, Devin didn't have his best night. They shot 30% from deep, but they were still able to beat the Bucks by 24 points.
No, that's not a trumpet, Fabio. That's a sexy saxophone. Know your instruments. Anyway.
Call whatever the hell you want. It's good and they won, so I don't care what instrument it was. Much like I don't know where Norway is. I don't know what fucking instrument it was either, but I'm enjoying it. All right. Yeah. Look. They did not play their best game. The first half, the first quarter, it was kind of rope-a-dope. It wasn't pretty, and they still kicked Milwaukee's ass, and they dominated it in the paint, which was an area that the Bucks owned in those final four games of the finals. So, look, I get it. It's regular season. Don't get too excited. But they owned them tonight, and it just feels good, right?
Yeah.
Wake
Absolutely.
up, Saul.
I'm sorry, I'm dragging ass.
Look,
you can't disrupt my flow right here because then the mic is going to sink away from me again.
Somebody's
with our
got to get
half-ass
you
dollar
excited.
store fucking side tables that we have here.
Lindsey, you brought it up towards the end. Reggie Miller goes, what was it that Reggie said?
Oh, something like the Suns had
This
more.
meant more to the Suns
There you
tonight
go.
than it did to the Bucks. That's why they won. Shut up, Reggie. You cannot. Anybody that makes excuses as to why the Bucks lost tonight and not giving the Suns their flowers can kiss my ass. All right. I'm sick of the national narrative. I don't care what any of you think. The Phoenix Suns continue to prove night in, night out why they're the best in the league. They're 4 games better than anybody else in the league right now in the standings. 4 freaking games. And nobody else got that much better at the trade deadline. Nobody in the West did. And the East, there's a lot of shuffling deck chairs. Today was a good day when it comes to the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, I don't even care about the national media narrative anymore. I really don't.
I
get to watch this. I get to watch this team every single night do what they do. They do it as efficiently as any team has ever done. They win every single night. They have great players that know exactly what they're doing. I don't give a fuck about ESPN or TNT or what they think the Suns are all about because they don't know shit. And they clearly don't know shit because they keep doubting this Suns team. And they're 45-10 and clearly the best team in the NBA. It's not even close until they pull their own heads out of their asses and realize it when they raise the freaking Larry O'Brien possibly at the end of the year. That's probably the first time they'll acknowledge the fact that the Suns are the best team. And even then, they'll have some stupid-ass excuse. So I don't give a shit. Fuck them.
Just wire to wire, be better. I mean, I don't really. If you, and yes, the Cove Crazy is right. It's a 4.5 game lead on anybody else in the league. And if that's not enough to convince the national media, nothing's ever going to convince them. Just go do the damn thing and forget them. It doesn't matter.
I mean, honestly, it was such a good week, and this was a great game from Deandre. So if these two things kind of don't show you on as a whole for the Phoenix Suns, and then the importance of Deandre, then I just kind of feel like you're just not gonna play. Like you're just gonna refuse to play ball, and that's okay. Like,
you know what?
You just stay in your lane, and we'll stay in ours.
Leah, I think we have a small gift that we can play in terms of how the national media feels towards the Suns. Oh yeah, they big mad. That's exactly what they are.
That
we're all McHale tonight.
Mikal Bridges is the gift that keeps on giving. Like every single night, you get something from Mikal that is just perfect. Whether it's something that he does on like basketball wise, whether it's a meme that he gives us or some dance, it's just like we must protect him at all costs.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. He gets engaged, and obviously when he's rolling like that, he had a couple moments tonight where he was just kind of like winking or smiling or whatever, and that's how you know like he's really feeling it. He's having fun out there. This team's having fun out there, and it's just a joy to watch.
Mm-hmm.
7 guys in double figures.
Yep.
Tonight, almost 9. Bismack Biyombo finished with 9 points. Only one guy with a minus plus minus tonight. Guess who it was?
Alfred?
No, it was JaVale McGee.
Really?
Somehow JaVale had a -4 in 15 minutes. Yet he had 12 points and was 6 of 9 with 4 rebounds. So even with a -4, still a great night from McGee too. Look, your center position gave you 48 points tonight just from your center position. Your top 3 centers, like, damn, man. And that, like we said, that's with Book going 6 of 19 tonight.
No, like the 48's cool, but 27 of those came from DA.
Yeah.
And I am so far beyond past hearing anything negative about DA. I just am. You know, this game kind of showed you a little bit of how he took that experience from last year, losing to the Bucks, and improve a little bit in terms of what they need. And I think the Suns learned, more importantly, how much they need to value the low post presence of DA when it gets to crunch time. And so they use tonight as kind of a testing point in terms of like how we're going to maybe run our offense if Booker and CP3 are not hidden or anything like that. And they hit DA. He came through. Bismack came through, and so did JaVale. It was beautiful. It was beautiful because as they move forward in the playoffs, they're going to need those kind of performances down low in the post to keep defenses honest and not have so much pressure on D-Book and CP3 like they did last year in the finals. So I appreciate the fact that they kind of tried to adjust a little bit. We kind of teased about it a little bit in the first half. We're like, oh, DA's got like 15. They're going to ignore him in the second half. But They didn't. They kept going to him.
Hallelujah.
Thank God. And here we are.
Well, I feel like that was a warning shot going, hey, look, we've learned. We know how to use DA, and we're not afraid to do it against the Bucks. So look, complete team. This is complete. The transformation is here.
Listen, if you think you're going to try and guard DA with Drew Holiday and company that are below
Bobby
6'6", you got another thing coming. He's going to abuse you down low like he should, and it's up to the Suns to find him to reward him for that. So, and they did tonight.
Should we go to the bar?
Let's go to the bar.
What are we drinking tonight, Espo?
We're drinking an adios, motherfuckers. Pour me a double.
And that could be that could be twofold, according to
so
Manuel, for
right
all
now.
you mother buckers in the back. That is why you extend DA, and that is why you don't trade DA.
I'm going to dub an F in there just
So
so
we're
you know.
double.
After the show's over.
Amen.
I'm like, Lindsay's cussed.
Don't you dare.
Whether I got my second wind, if you can't tell.
Somebody in the chat was like, are Lindsay and Saul still mad at each other?
know. That's because I pounded on your table.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I'm like, no, I'm just trying to wake him
She is
up.
aggressive. Jeez.
Well, because I already know if you're tired, you're just gonna sit there all silent and just stare at me and Espo, and it's gonna be awkward.
No, I don't stare at you and Espo. I just stare at the screen and look at the comments. And everybody thinks I'm high. I'm like, I'm not high. I'm just fucking
I can
tired.
tell you-
I've been here since 7:30 this morning, you dicks.
We drug tested him. He's not high. Don't worry. Look, I got enough energy for Saul and I right
There you
now.
go.
I don't know why,
Somebody's
but
gotta
I need
do
to.
it.
I need to raise my level to kind of bring you a little down because this is a little obscene.
I mean, we already started talking about Deandre Ayton, so let's go ahead and just call it what it is. Tonight, DA is our draft king of the game. I don't know if any of you would disagree with us. I don't think it's a surprise there at all. He finished with a team high 27 points on 12 of 14 shooting. He also grabbed 7 rebounds as well.
The only thing better than DA's performance
Is the crown?
is that crown placement.
Heyo!
I bet you can guess who did it tonight.
It almost looks like a little sailor hat.
It does.
That's amazing.
Listen, the only thing DA did wrong was allow the refs to blow their whistle.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even his fault. Apparently, Giannis can just lower his shoulder, run anybody over he wants to, knee guys in the groin, and call it a day. And still, despite that, DA showed out, and he was awesome tonight.
Yeah, so somehow that was the low point for DA, was getting kicked in the nuts by Giannis. Like, somehow that was a foul on him too.
Yeah.
How dare you place your junk there? It's a foul.
Yeah.
It was just a weird night for the refs. Look, everybody on Twitter wanted to complain, right? Both sides were complaining. Guess what? The refs just suck. That's what it is. It's not that they're biased, they just suck. All right?
Yeah, but I mean, yes, absolutely. But there are moments as well where it's like, why is Giannis allowed to just put his head down and bully his way in there, but nobody else is allowed to do that?
I think the fans get frustrated because it's like Giannis can do that, and we don't get any leeway. And then Devin Booker rolls the ball down to the other end of the court. It should be a delayed game. He gets a tee for the second time this week. He gets a tee off of something stupid like that. And it's like, what's the threshold here? Because Devin Booker's a superstar too. He should get a little leeway as well. He didn't have his best night tonight, so all that combined didn't help. But luckily for him, his teammates stepped up, and it just didn't matter. So
Book's not a superstar in the league's eyes. That's the
Not
problem.
yet.
He's not. He should be, but he's not. By the way, Brian in the comments, is Giannis's foot okay? We'll check in on that after what he did to DA.
after he kicked him in the huevos.
Thank you for the super chat for
Huevos.
Flex Damage. Said the Phoenix Suns are the best mother effing team in the world. Suns in 16.
Ooh, I like that. Suns in 16.
Yeah, that's a fun one. But yeah, I mean, Deandre Ayton it was really good to see him have this type of a performance tonight. And some people in the chat are saying Chris Paul. We're going to talk about Chris Paul. I guess you're right. He was a close second to be king of the game.
We have flowers for everybody. Do not worry.
Don't worry. I got it covered.
I don't think Lindsey has ever run out of flowers.
But I do really love this game for DeAndre because with the trade deadline having come and gone now and all the talk around DA potentially being moved and people wanting to move DA, I think this is just one of those things that it's like, listen, this is why you have to get DA. This is why you have to keep DA.
Can I take my shot?
Yes.
Oh, you take
Yeah.
that shot?
You want to take your shot right now?
Yeah, I want to take my shot right now.
Okay, Saul, you want to take your shot? Give me 1 second. Let me find it.
I know.
She's got to get the read
I
ready.
was like, no,
I
great.
Pause.
kind of went out.
here we
I kind
go.
of went out of turn. But
It's time to take your shot, presented by Arizona Department of Health Services. COVID-19 vaccines are free for everyone 5 and older. Those 12 and older are also now eligible for a booster. Visit azhealth.gov for a location near you.
we all know where DA took his shot tonight. It wasn't in his own crotch. It was on Giannis's head. Play the clip. Yes. Beautiful alley-oop. Beautiful pass. And last year, in the same move, Devin Booker threw an alley-oop and it got blocked. This time, not so much. And that is DA taking his shot. A beautiful play by the big guy. That's kind of a microcosm of some of the small things that should changed from last year to this year. I'm excited to see what's to come. I think DA will use this as a launching point to just get better and better and better. And more importantly, The Suns will use this as a launching point
Mhm.
to understand the value of DA and what he can provide in the future, especially when we get to the playoffs. Just a solid all-around game for the big guy.
He got freaky on the Greek, and I like that.
Yeah, he bared down.
Throw it down.
Once again, COVID-19 vaccines are free for everyone 5 and older. Those 12 and older are also now eligible for a booster. Visit azhealth.gov for a location near you.
We should have a flower sponsor.
We should.
Yeah.
Just
1-800
sponsor
flowers?
Lindsay.
Yes.
100%.
Max Simpson, what are you doing right now, bro?
Yes. There's so many flower shops
Oh
out
my
there.
gosh,
Like we
so
always
many.
have flowers like right here.
I feel like
too.
it needs to be local for Lindsay, though, because
I would
Lindsay's
love
not
that.
Lindsay's not going anywhere that isn't within 5 miles of where she lives to get flowers
This is
for
very true.
anybody.
Facts.
This is all locally grown.
If it's not the Central Phoenix Botanical Garden, she's not going anywhere.
Now you're just making me sound real bougie. It's not bougie. It's
I mean, that's-
lazy.
It's just
That's
where
true.
you live.
Location. Shout out to Deandre Ayton. You absolutely deserve your flowers tonight.
and you
and of
deserve
course-
your damn money.
Facts. This is true.
I got way
Espo,
too much
Espo.
energy.
Chill a little bit, okay?
I'm like,
Chill.
God damn!
You gotta
Give him his
stick it
money!
Man, you would have thought somebody gave him like a freaking 8-ball or something. Good God.
I'm so fucking tired.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Chris Paul. Chris Paul also had his thumbprint all over this game. He finished with 17 points and 19 assists. Now those 19 assists were more than the Bucks' entire team had combined. They finished with 18 as a team. He finished with 19 as a team. He also notched his team best 29th double-double of the season and his 500th career double-double, becoming just the 4th guard in NBA history to reach this milestone. You guys want to guess who the other 3 are? Or you want me to just tell you?
Magic, John Stockton, Michael Jordan.
Oscar Robertson.
God, dang it. I
You
was
were
so
really close. You were really close. Yep. So Chris Paul absolutely deserves his flowers.
He was fantastic. There's not much more I can say about Chris Paul. In the first quarter, I said this. I was like, it's like he's just kind of
Mhm.
just working himself into the game. He wasn't really forcing anything. He wasn't really doing too much. And then all of a sudden, the second quarter, he started poking a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Next thing you know, in the third quarter, he's got 15 assists, and he's got, I think he had 12 points. I think he had 10 alone in the third quarter. It was just too easy for him out there. And that's what the Suns missed last year, because we all remember the nerve damage that he had in his other arm, and how he could cross over to his other arm, and all of a sudden it just wasn't there. And he talked about that on the JJ Redick podcast about against the Lakers series. I felt like that kind of lingered throughout the playoffs, but this time no excuse, and he came out and he balled like the real Chris Paul. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think people realize CP3 wasn't 100%. Book had a hamstring injury in those playoffs. They act like the Suns just had the easiest road in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Everything good right now. And when you see this team at full strength, they're better than last year. And that's not hyperbole. They are better than last year. And that should be scary.
We have new faces coming over in the next few days that are going to make this team even better. Like, when you add all that up, even though it wasn't a huge trade, I know some people really wanted James Jones to make a different type of trade, but it's still he still did a good job of just bolstering the margins of this team.
And that's what you needed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he didn't do last year. Again, James Jones is not afraid to learn and admit mistakes. We talked about this in our trade special earlier. Trading back for Torrey Craig is admitting you made a mistake, because they should have re-signed him in the offseason. I haven't looked at the chat.
I don't know what he's laughing at either.
Fabio's a funny motherfucker, man. He said, imagine when Shamet comes back.
For Jay Crowder's sake, I hope Shamet comes back
love
soon,
you, man.
because your ire that usually goes to Shamet has transferred to Jay. So I hope Landry comes back soon. But anyways, James Jones is not afraid to admit, hey, I made a mistake, and he's doing that with Torrey Craig because he should have re-signed him in the offseason.
Jay Crowder will never feel my ire to the degree that Landry Shamet has. I will say this, though. My guy, can we stop swinging the ball around to him? Can we just the first person that gets the open shot, please take the shot, please, because I'm not down for this 1-for-9 stuff until he finally gets number 2. Like, you just can't have that in the playoffs, man.
Look,
But I'm not going to dwell on the negative tonight.
This reminds me of
talk about the positive
of the song lyric. If you can't be with the one you love the one you're with. But it's if you can't be with the one you hate the one you're with is the way Saul is right now with Jay. I want Landry back so Jay can get a break right now from you.
Yeah,
I mean, it might also be good for Jay too, because he did say right before he returned that like his wrist wasn't 100%, so he was mentally trying to wrap his head around playing through that, and that could just be weighing on him a little bit. You know what I mean? And we do know he's streaky, but he does affect the game in other ways still, which is a positive.
But look, Torrey Craig does a lot of those things as well. With him coming back, you know, he may take some Jay minutes when Jay's not playing well.
He didn't last year.
Well, but he could because Jay wasn't this bad in as many stretches. He was not as bad as he's been since the end.
Bro, we would literally sit here in the post games in the playoffs and be like, we just pray that Jay's having a good night, and then there'd be other nights where we'd be like 0 for 11, like we just accepted it, like, because that's just Jay. Like, nothing's changed in a year. He's still the same guy. He does great on defense. He has great intangibles. He's a great team player. Can't hit a 3 to save his life some nights. Like, it's okay to say that.
Yeah, but if you now have additional options is my point. Torrey Craig, if he's not having that night, can take some of those minutes if Torrey's hitting on it. Like, I get it. And at some point, you very well may have to look at it and go, is Cam Johnson, should he be a starter?
Yeah, that's where I would more hedge my bet.
But you need
towards
the offensive Cam off the bench.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, like if Jay's having an off night like he did tonight offensively or in a few of the last games, we have other shooters right now. Like we may not be stacked necessarily, and I know we wanted to add a couple shooters at the trade deadline, but Mikal Bridges is just offensively showing up big time.
For sure. Like, but again, Mikal earlier in the year was struggling to find his shot. It seems to have come back. Like, that needs to continue in the playoffs because there was in the playoffs again last year, Mikal had a tendency to just, you almost forgot he was out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, defense or not. So these are the things that they're going to improve on, obviously. And I think they've learned from last year.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I would hope
slow build, to the playoffs. So I'm not freaking out about Jay Crowder. I'm just saying, like, when we get to the playoffs and the shit hits the fan, like, we're going to need a little bit more than 0 for 9 Jay Crowder on the offensive side. And so I do believe Cam and Mikal will step up and kind of, even that out.
James Jones might not be done, though. The buyout market is still very much a possibility. You're now carrying 4 point guards once Aaron Holiday's here. I think Elfrid Payton is more than expendable if you find the right buyout guy. So you might be able to find another shooter. Gerald, who will join us in a little while from Footprint Center, wrote a great piece about this on gophnx.com, kind of looking at the names that may be available in the buyout market.
Who's the name that you like the most?
Deandre Bembry, who's getting cut by the Nets. I think you can get him. He's obviously played decent minutes this year with the Nets. He can hit from deep. He's a 2/3. So if Shamet doesn't find his way, he's an option that could take some of those Shamet minutes. That name sticks out to me of the realistic guys. There's some talk, could Eric Gordon be bought out? If he is, obviously that's a name that you gravitate towards more so than a Bembry. But of the guys that I really think will be bought out or cut, that's a name that sticks out to me that Gerald talked about in his piece.
Speaking of Mikal, let's talk a little bit about his performance tonight. Give him a couple flowers because he notched 18 points and he has now scored in double figures in 8 straight games, matching his career-long streak of consecutive games with 10 or more points. So we're seeing that progress right here before our eyes. All he has to do is keep it going. That's the main thing. It's just to keep it going. But it seems like he's kind of found his flow and his rhythm there now.
Go ahead.
I was just say, yeah. I mean, he's found that flow, but we talked about it. If Mikal and Cam could find some consistency offensively, this team goes to another level. Look over the last week; these guys have found consistent offensive outputs, and they go 3-0 in the last 3 games. That was probably 3 of their tougher matchups they were going to have. And they've played fantastic. Like, these guys are a litmus test as how this team will be. If they continue to play like this, sky's the limit for this team.
They dominated the Bulls, despite what the score will tell you. They went toe-to-toe with the Sixers and then came through in the fourth quarter like a good veteran team should, and they dominated the Bucks tonight. Like, that's a great 3-game stretch. Meanwhile, the Warriors struggled against the Knicks and lost. Like, this, the thing about this team is that from the outside perspective, this team isn't exciting. They don't make the flashiest of dunks or plays on a night-to-night basis. But you know what this team is? They're just so damn good as a team. They don't need to do all that fancy shit because they make it easy for themselves. And they're efficient and they're crisp and they know exactly what to do. Like Budenholzer after the first quarter, I thought it was quite remarkable to hear a coach get asked, what is your team going to have to do to stop them on offense? And he was like, basically, there's nothing you can do. Like, they're just that damn good. Like, so you gotta hope they're kind of off to really and you're playing as solid as you possibly can to have a chance. And that came to fruition. As the game went on, the Bucks wore down, the Suns dominated, and they just walked away with it like it was nothing. Like, you got the best team in basketball. Like, it blows my mind in 2 years how far this team has come from starting from the bubble to now. And like the complete culture change is I don't think I've ever seen anything quite to this degree. It's kind of like when the Patriots won their first Super Bowl. They kind of fluked into it. It felt like with the whole, the fumble and stuff. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, they're just like a machine. Like,
this is a dynasty.
Yeah, and they just rattled them off. That's kind of what the Suns feel to me right now. They're just a machine right now.
Well, and the crazy thing to me too is, okay, Chris Paul's the major piece you had, but everything else that's been added was periphery. It wasn't main guys. These are the guys that have been there since the bubble. Devin, Mikal, Cam, that are playing the major roles. Da obviously and Book, but those are the guys playing key roles and doing this too. This is an unbelievable transformation, and this is what Suns fans deserved after they went through everything that they did. This is the reward. This is, everything you want is on the other side of hard. For fans, you're getting to finally enjoy what that is. These last 2 years have been nothing short of spectacular so far.
We had a super chat just a minute ago.
Yeah, it was asking in terms of would Ish Wainwright have to sell his number?
Perplex damage. Will Ish sell his number for Craig?
No idea.
I think he should just give it to him and say, hey, man, this was yours before me. I'll take whatever number I can.
Also, we tried to go back and find Ish Wainwright's facial expressions because those
were
priceless.
God.
Yeah, they were priceless.
I'm surprised I didn't see those
I know.
on Twitter.
I tried to find it, but I couldn't get back on TNT to go back and screen grab it.
Perplex says, Sons are dogs. Espo, give us a best dog bark. The Suns are dogs. Saul hates when I do that. It's happened multiple times today, and I'm loving it.
Kinnerit said in the chat, Suns showing team play rather than superstar shows is what creates winning basketball.
Connor brings up 104 and 31 since the bubble.
That's insane.
104
That's insane.
And 31.
Hooey.
Yeah.
Wow. Talk about it.
31 losses this year.
Oh, poor Leah.
Poor Leah. Trust me, it's like the thrill of victory over here and the agony of defeat in the Coyotes room, which is super sad.
Leah, they have 31 losses, but it feels like 104. So
It does. Poor Coyotes. They'll get there eventually. All right, let's talk a little bit about Cam Johnson because he does deserve some
Cam.
flowers. 15 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. He had some really big, nice highlights tonight as well. You know how I feel about Cam Johnson. He's a sweet baby angel. He can do no wrong. So, love when Cam Johnson has a great night.
well, he did somebody wrong. That Justin
Exactly.
Holiday crossover Drew Holiday
Mhm.
crossover going for the dunk. That was nasty.
It was. It was so pretty.
He's just efficient.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to see him poster Grayson Allen tonight, but we'll save that for the finals.
Yeah.
Well, they still have one more matchup with the Bucks here.
Gosh, I know
Second
you
half.
guys like that, and I told you during the game too. It just makes me so nervous. It makes me so nervous. I don't love it, but I won't go down that road. Cam Johnson. So one thing that I thought was really funny that came from him today at Shoot Around, he was actually talking about why he doesn't have a Twitter account. And he said he's thought about joining it, and people have told him he needs to, and he's got thoughts that he wants to put out there, but he's low-key not into the toxicity. He's afraid of reading the comments, essentially.
Smart man.
Yeah.
I know.
Listen,
but like that's on us. We got to
if-
make Twitter
if-
a safe space for
It's
Cam.
never gonna happen.
Why
It's
don't we
never
invite
gonna
him to our
happen.
Discord? It's kind of like
There
Twitter,
you go.
but a safer space.
There you go. I like
he doesn't have
that.
to buy a membership.
There
We'll
you
just
go.
let him in.
Yeah, there you go.
I think it would be so fun to have
But we
Cam
can-
on Twitter.
We could only let him in if he names himself Sweet Baby Angel Cam.
and his icon is what Josh
Oh my
created.
gosh, Josh, that was so funny. If you guys haven't seen that, head over to Josh's Twitter account because he took the Sweet Baby Angel Cam to the next level.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
Listen, I don't think any one of us would be in social media if we didn't have to be in social media.
If I wasn't paid for it, I don't think if I could figure out how to extract myself and still do this job, I probably would.
If there was a way,
There
there it is. There's the graphic.
Sweet Baby Angel Cam.
If there was a way that you could kind of like just pick your portions of Twitter that you want to be involved in, that would be ideal.
Yeah, but everybody has a bad day, so that's the problem. Like we have all been a troll to somebody at one point or another. Maybe not a severe troll, but we've been a troll. Like
Oh,
Espo,
I've been a
yes,
severe
yes,
troll. at
I
times.
know
I
that
don't
for
know
a
if
fact.
I
Yes.
have.
You haven't gone at anybody just because you were having a
No.
bad day?
No.
No.
Because I don't want those receipts.
Yo.
I don't want
Yeah.
anybody to come back
Oh,
and
yeah,
be like,
true.
"Oh,
I'm
you're
an
a
asshole
jerk."
on the show, so if I am on social media, it's like,
I
oh, it
mean,
just
I'm
fits
one
the
in
bill.
real life, but like, I'm still trying to like not take it to the internet.
See, but Espo thinks he's clever with it because every time he like goes at somebody, he always puts the hashtag snark
Right?
on there, and I'm
So it's
like,
mm,
yeah, okay.
Not always.
yeah.
Sometimes I just am like, screw you, buddy.
Screw you guys. I'm going home. So yeah, shout out to Cam Johnson. Here's your flowers for the
We
night.
need to get Cam back on the show. If not for any other reason than to show him that sweet baby.
Oh, we
angel
cannot
Cam
show
is-
him that.
Oh, I
He
will
would
show
be
him.
so.
That.
He would be
I
like,
played
do you mean we-
Sticks Kid for Jalen Smith. You're damn right. I'd
And he
show
loved
him
it.
that.
He loved it. So yeah.
oh my gosh. Well, I guess we'll find out. We'll see
You
how
know
he
what?
feels about it. I'm sure he'll take it well
You know what? I'm gonna if we can't get him on, I'm gonna print that thing out
and
and
take
go
it to him.
go to the performance center and give it to him. All right.
Yeah. I mean, well, okay.
And I'll say, this is from Lindsey Smith. You probably remember her. She asked me to give this to you.
He'd be like, she's so weird. Tell her I said hi. That's exactly what he would do.
He wouldn't be lying.
All right, guys, let's take a quick break because the moment we've been waiting for since September is finally here. And in honor of the big game, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56, is giving new customers 56-1 odds on either team. Bet just $5 or more to get $280 in free bets if your team wins. Now, if you're not a new customer, you can bet on Super Bowl 56 props instead. DraftKings Sportsbook offers a wide range of props throughout the big game. Take your shot at winning cash by predicting props, like if a non-quarterback will throw a pass, fourth down conversions, total yardage, and so much more. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. Use the promo code PHNX and get 56-1 odds on either team. Bet just $5 or more to get $280 in free bets if your team wins with the promo code PHNX. Hold on, I'll start. That's 21 and older only, Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details.
I got a DraftKings pick of the week. You ready?
Do share, yes.
It's a Super Bowl prop. Give me orange Gatorade is what they dump on the coach.
Orange Gatorade's pretty good.
That,
I feel like I would go orange or red.
you can actually bet on it. I'm going to go with orange. That's
What would you
that's
go
my
with?
DraftKings pick of the week for you.
Oh man. Well, I think it would be blue.
Blue?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
Or purple, or whatever. Probably purple. I think it's purple, right? Because I don't know if they have blue.
Hey, you can't go wrong with orange or purple. Dump either of them on it, right?
Yeah, it just
Can-
depends on what team wins, and I'm kind of leaning towards the Rams. So.
Can I be honest? Like, I think everyone thinks I'm crazy for this. Yellow Gatorade is my favorite of the
it's
OG
best.
Gatorades.
It's-
Everyone
yes.
always says
Yes.
it's
Oh,
trash.
A million percent.
No, not trash
I
at
I'm
all.
love that
glad
one.
we're on the same page
Oh, yes.
here. This
No.
makes me feel
Lemon
a
lime
lot better.
all day.
It's so
Yes.
good.
Have you ever boiled it?
No, why would I boil Gatorade?
Have you ever boiled Gatorade? What?
So at Starbucks they have this drink called the medicine ball.
Yeah.
I don't boil Gatorade.
Replace the just listen to me. Replace the lemonade with Gatorade. It's a game changer.
Can I ask them for that, or do I have to do this?
No.
No,
you'll
you have
have-
to make your
you have
own.
to make your own.
Can I
If
go?
you
I'm
make
gonna
it
go
at
to
home.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go through the drive-through tomorrow with a bottle of yellow Gatorade. Go. Can you make me a
They're-
medicine ball? But will you
first
heat
of all,
this up, please?
First of all, they're not going to think it's yellow Gatorade. They're going to say, "Get out of my face, you sick freak! Take your piss somewhere else."
it's gonna be
totally.
sealed.
They will be mad
All right,
at you.
you know what?
Could you make my medicine ball, please?
I mean, tonight. I sound like a guy that needs more artificial coloring and sugar, right? So maybe I'll try this tomorrow. Maybe I will.
you did have a lot of Coke Zero at dinner, so maybe that's. What
I'm just really glad that there's a lot of people in the chat right now, and the two of you are on board with the
yeah.
with the yellow Gatorade.
First of all, whoever told you that was a bad take?
I've literally been getting crap for it my whole life.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Well, I mean, this is Sierra Vista people that were starting to give you the crap to
Yeah.
begin with.
That's like the Hills Have Eyes people.
Hey,
Does your
where
kids
did-
live there?
My kids live there. I'm
where
fucking around.
did you admit you were from earlier today, too?
Oh, that's definitely Hills Have Eyes. Have you seen some of the trolls that come out of the mountains
Oh
up in
my
Cordes
God.
Junction, Arizona?
So,
I promise you don't want to live there.
somehow I came from old school Chandler. I'm the most posh guy out of the group.
Yeah, you're talking
Where
about
we
dudes
go?
that
See,
you know,
Bam's a hater.
yeah,
Bam
people
said
that have
yellow
offset
Gatorade
eye
is dog
sockets just
water.
crawling out of the woods.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on over here?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have a tweet of the night.
Shout out to Mayor. Hi.
This tweet came from Kane Pittman, who is a beat writer
God, that's a
for
lot.
the Bucks. He covers the Bucks.
We're
And
in
he
0.2
said
font, apparently.
There's healthy competitive angst between the Bucks and the Suns, as there should be after last year's final. I would just like to acknowledge how cool it is that Phoenix and Milwaukee are two of the best teams in the league right now, free of drama, just damn good basketball teams. And I really love this take for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, gave credit and kudos to the Suns. The fact that they pointed out that there isn't a lot of drama with these two teams, which is different than what normally highlights the headlines. And I've said this before, but I really like some of these new teams that are kind of becoming front runners in the NBA, because for so long we were always talking about the same teams. It was the Lakers, it was the Warriors, it's not the Knicks, but the Knicks still highlight the headlines, Nets, you know what I mean? It's so fun to mix it up every once in a while. Phoenix, like Milwaukee, Memphis. I love even Cleveland. You could throw in there a little bit. The Bulls back in the mix. Like, it's fun to have a different variety of big dogs in this league.
Yeah, it is. It certainly is, especially when the league feels like it's getting turned upside its head right now because the Bucks and the Suns. The Bucks have been contenders for several years now.
There.
And the Suns are basically new to the party since last year. But yeah, you're right. Cleveland coming up without LeBron. You know, the Bulls have put things together. They're a good team. Like it is fun to see a new fresh wave, and not only a fresh wave of all these teams, but it's a fun style of basketball that I feel like we're watching. Memphis with Ja, and then you got the Hornets with Ball and stuff. And it is pretty cool. But to their point, the Suns and the Bucks have done this, quote unquote, the right way. They didn't have to go seek a super team. They kind of bucked that trend, which I
No
very
pun
much,
intended.
no pun intended, which I very much appreciate, because that was starting to ruin the league. And now you're seeing in Brooklyn that a super team, while on paper seems like a great idea, it's an absolute train wreck if you have three dudes that just don't understand what being a team is all about.
Oh, you can look on both coasts, the Nets and the Lakers.
Yeah, for sure.
Are proof of that. That tweet to me also encapsulates why the Bucks and the Suns aren't getting the national attention.
Yes.
Because there isn't the drama.
Because what's TNT?
All about drama.
We
They know
like
that
drama.
drama.
Hey-o.
Yep. So, and you're right about that. Like so like the Warriors defense, right? I thought that they did everything the right way as
Yes.
well. They got the KD thing, which brought more drama to them. They still won a couple championships, and then they got rid of KD, and look what they've done. They built right back in-house again. They didn't have to go get big-time free agents. They signed Kelly Oubre to that ridiculous deal and then got rid of him, but everything's been in-house. Player development was at the core of what they've been trying to do. You see Jordan Poole coming up through that system, and all the same thing the Suns are doing. Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, like guys that are coming through the system, DeAndre Ayton, and that's how you build your core, led by Devin Booker, obviously, and then you get one piece that might take you over the top, which is what Chris Paul is. So just phenomenal, and I love it.
And great coaching.
Yes.
Both teams
Yes.
have great coaching
Mm-hmm.
with Steve Kerr and Monty Williams, And I'd put Mike Budenholzer in that group as well.
Also
I know,
from Arizona.
Yeah, I know one of the other small places in Arizona, right?
Holbrook.
Shout
out Northland Pioneer. There you go.
But Budenholzer's another guy that just each of these coaches pretty even keel, know how to lead guys. They just come in and they do their job. Him, Monty, and Steve Kerr. I like this. I like a sense of I don't know if parity is the right word. That there's but where there is not just one team that feels like it's a fait accompli that they're gonna win. Like the Warriors felt like that for so many years. The Lakers in the bubble kind of felt like that. Now it doesn't. Now it feels like, oh, this league is wide open, and that makes the playoffs that much more entertaining.
Balance.
Yeah.
Balance. Yeah.
Coach
Balance.
JJ
Thank
says
you.
Balance. Yep. And then just real quick, Says Jay says, sounds like something a guy whose team lost would say, shrug emoji. While I think that's hilarious, to be fair, he tweeted it out, I think, around halftime.
Yeah.
So I think he was being fairly genuine about it.
Listen,
still funny comment.
I think we all could agree, like if we weren't Suns fans, but we were good basketball fans, and we want to see good people win, we would have been on board with what the Bucks did.
Yes.
But it doesn't help that they got Grayson Allen this year and completely ruined some of their vibe.
I've seen a whole bunch of people tweet about that. Like I've been saying for a long time, the Bucks are so easy to root for. They're such a good, lovable team. But now that they have Grayson Allen, it's all out the window.
I don't know who tweeted that, but that's somebody smart.
Was that you?
That wasn't me.
That's amazing. I was like, I know I read that on Twitter.
Perplex Damage in the chat said, do you think after game TNT should have interviewed DA instead of CP3? Okay, yes.
Do you think after
yes,
the game
I'm sorry,
TNT should have interviewed DA instead of CP3?
It's a little complex to put that together. Sorry.
You should.
How much have you smoked, Perplex?
We even made the chat larger for it, too.
No, that's the structure of the sentence.
Do you think
I'm like, what? Huh? They're missing some words in there. That's not on me. I tried to read it the best I could.
I love for the audio only audience. We're just totally throwing Saul under the bus as if it's spelled and said
like
perfectly.
I'm super high. I can't read. All of a sudden I'm dyslexic. I'm like, what is going on right now? Like he teach me how to read good. Like no, that's not what's going on. I promise people. Anyway, yes, they should have interviewed DA, but CP3 is the national headline. He's the MVP favorite on this team outside of Devin Booker. One of those two could very well win it. So TNT,
Chris K.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump
Yeah,
song.
I have nothing to do with that. That was all perplex damage. I have nothing to do with that.
I love that the Cove Crazies are just ruthless. They're just like
I mean,
I'm
man,
anybody's
He
fair
said,
game.
Perplex says, I'm drinking and I had an IV and now drinking.
Well,
I don't know if that's good, Perplex.
At least you mix the IV in. That seems responsible.
He's like, oh man, I'm really drunk. Let me put this IV in so I can hydrate properly and then get back to drinking.
well,
what-
anytime you can put your own
what
IV
is-
in when you're drunk,
Hey.
it's worth it, right?
It's the safe thing to do.
Speaking of take your shot, I mean,
I'm a little concerned.
Life is like a warmer box of chocolates. Yes.
yeah.
Oh man.
You know what you're gonna get, and it ain't gonna taste good. Liquid IV for the win.
I don't even know.
Connor.
I don't even know what Lindsay's doing over here. She's just making noises into the mic, trying to ignore what we're talking about. She's just like,
Boy, where is Gerald? Did you
Okay.
I
get
don't
lost
know.
at
You
the
know what?
Okay,
footprint?
so-
Gerald's about to do a recap video after this show is over because listen.
Real quick. I did message Gerald. He hasn't responded to me. I'm really mad at him. It's been like 7 minutes.
Uh-oh.
Like, come on, Gerald. What are
we-
you doing?
Are we sure he's still not in Philadelphia? Did he ever
Seriously.
get on the plane, or is he
We
just?
haven't seen him.
He
but
didn't show up for the trade deadline thing
Yeah.
either.
while
This
we
is
wait for
true.
Gerald, let's go ahead in honor of the All-Star Draft. Why don't the three of
Wait,
us?
Chris did say this show started running and just kept running.
Running and
It
running.
always
and running.
does. So, in honor of the NBA All-Star Draft, why don't we draft our top 3 PHNX coworkers?
I feel like we have to.
We got paper, rock, scissors
Yeah,
for
that's
who
what I
gets
was
to go
gonna say.
Okay,
first.
you guys go first for second and third, and then I'll go first. I'll go next for
Wait,
second and first.
Wait.
What the fuck you
wait.
you gonna
How
top
do
2
you
pick?
get-
Hell
What
no.
is this
You're gonna
crap?
con us. I don't care how late in the night it is.
Why don't you guys go for second and third? I got first pick already.
Yeah.
I called dibs.
Here we go. Ready? All 3 of us at the same
Well,
time.
how are you gonna do that?
Odd man out gets the first one, and we keep going.
Okay, is it rock paper scissors shoot
Yes.
or rock
Yes.
paper
Rock,
scissors?
paper,
It's
scissors,
always
shoot.
rock, paper,
Okay,
scissors.
Okay,
ready,
ready?
go. Rock,
paper,
paper,
scissors.
scissors, shoot.
I get the first pick.
Yep.
Suck
That's
it.
me, you. Ready?
Damn it. Rock. Wait, hold on. Don't start again. Ready?
Aw.
Rock,
You too
paper,
high.
scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Yes!
All right, I get the last pick. Awesome.
Serpentine draft. So,
So you go
you
ahead,
get-
go first.
with the first pick in the PHNX employee draft, which I'm sure will not get us in trouble with anybody, I'm gonna select. I didn't hear what that
Okay,
was.
Really,
the
really
frat house
quickly.
out the way.
The ASU show, I'm sorry that we all just cracked up laughing. You guys probably couldn't hear it on the mics, but the ASU show is in the studio across the way, and all we hear is somebody yell out,
Get your hands off my fried chicken.
So needless to say, none of those guys are going to be my first pick. Look, I hate to do it this way, but I feel like the only logical one is you got to go with the OG, Craig Morgan,
That's a great
who's
pick.
broken our site twice with breaking
That's a great
news.
pick.
Craig Morgan is my first pick.
yeah.
All right, Lindsay.
Um,
Somebody's not getting their flowers. Who's it going to be?
I'm taking Shane.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah.
That
I'm
is
taking Shane.
ooh.
Shane, the number 2
Ooh.
overall pick?
I am
Ooh.
taking Shane.
Oh.
Here's why. Shane has energy. He's fun. He can produce our show. He can take a bunch of grief.
He dresses like a dad. He's got the worst
got
mustache
a
I've ever
great
seen. He can't place a crown.
Shane's my homie. I'm taking Shane.
So I get to go back to back,
Yes,
right?
you got back to
It's a
back.
snake draft, right?
Yeah, this is
So-
where
And
then it
we-
comes back
So my number
Right.
3 overall would be Leah because she's got
Damn.
perfect crown placement.
I would have taken
She
Leah
knows
next.
exactly what she's doing back behind the Mac. She's the OG. Plus,
Damn.
she's a U of A grad, so she takes it up another notch. And then number 2 is going to be Sean. Sean
Damn.
DePaz.
You just took
I got
my next
2
two.
of my producers ready to go. We can put a whole show together. There we go.
That's what I'm saying. That's why Shane's a solid choice too. Like the 3 producers over here that were
But I have the 2
snatching
better
up, you
looking
get a whole
ones.
bunch.
But let me ask: is this like the All-Star draft though, where we already assume we're on our own team?
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah,
just wanted
yeah.
I wanted to make sure.
I'm texting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take Gerald.
Okay, Espo.
I give Gerald his flowers. He deserves it. So I got back-to-back to close my 3 picks out here. This is tough because I have no producers left unless I go with our head of
Your
production.
show's really gonna suck.
Yeah, you ain't got no. You producing your own show.
I can produce
Espo.
I've done it long enough. All right. Does DJ Father count as Shane, or
No,
those
yes,
two different
it's the
people?
same
Okay.
person. I give
Just-
both of them.
Just had to check. I'm going through our roster. I'm taking Petey.
Oh, Petey's solid.
I'm gonna, and then Petey can write his own ad reads. He can break down film. I'm taking Petey.
Okay,
Petey
who
is
else
my
you taking?
second pick. Apparently, I'm building a whole Coyote show. I didn't realize it, but who else am I going to take? I'm taking Johnny Venerable. Johnny Drama
Johnny's a good,
is my
good
next
one.
pick. So I got Craig, I got
Johnny's
Petey,
solid.
and I got Johnny. I mean, you're not touching me. I'm generating all the page views and the talking points here at PHNX between the 4 of us. So good luck, people. You can have your producers. I'm gonna produce my own shit.
I'm gonna take. Is it my turn?
Mhm.
I'm gonna take Cheerston.
Okay.
I feel like I got a solid squad. Okay,
I mean,
so I got
you can convince yourself
two
that. That's fine.
guys, 2 gals. Shane's the comedic relief, right? Like he's funny. He produces our show. He brings an element of like just fun. He's got the gambling thing all down. Gerald's my resident nerd. We got that. Cheerston's bomb at storytelling. I feel like this would be a solid mix.
I got humor in myself. That's debatable. And Petey. I got nerdy and Craig and breaking news.
And who's
Like-
producing your show?
I can produce our show. I don't even have to be on it. I can produce, and we still got solid show. Where are you going with your final pick, Saul?
Well, I mean, there's so many other options left. Honestly, like it's between 2 people, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and wager my bets against. I'm gonna go with the mayor of PHNX
Ooh,
and
that-
Derek.
Solid.
And so right now, I mean, I basically have the most talented team in the league. I just do. I have the youth.
Whatever.
I have the youth. I have the
Whatever.
experience. I have the beauty, and I have the creativity all in one.
He was talking about himself, Leah, when he said the beauty.
Here we go. There we go.
I don't know. All I'm
Plus,
saying is I don't think
we're
you could-
international too, because we have Leah.
I feel like Jesse's gonna come over and shank one of us because we didn't pick Jesse. He's gonna move down here just to beat the crap out of one of us. Hey, he's the new guy.
He's the new
The new
guy.
guy's gotta wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
We
yeah.
gotta put in a few. We
Look.
gotta get to
It
know.
doesn't
all
count
the
unless
ins
you've
and
been here for at least a
outs.
month.
Taboo Tidbits with the super chat. Thank you so much. Shout out to Coach Monty. He probably won't win Coach of the Year, but what he's done to change the culture in Phoenix is special.
Here, here.
Cheerston in the comments actually brought that up earlier in the show. She said that was one of the first things that he came in here, and that was immediately where he started making changes, was with the culture and just the way that he led these men on this basketball team. And you cannot say enough about how that really started the turnaround
Yeah.
for things here.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, Monty is kind of the soul of this team, right?
Mhm.
He connects with these guys. He brings that mentality that I like that he doesn't call it a family because sometimes it feels very cliche. He
Yeah.
refers to it as a program, right? And I love that he has that mentality. Very much the collegiate spirit of we're in this together. We all represent this this entity, and let's represent it with pride and caring for each other. And that's been the way this team's operated. It's business-like, but it's with that mindset, and I love it.
Monty is total class. He's been through a lot. He's seen a lot. He understands the perspective of the players. He has a humility about himself. You saw that last year after they lost in the finals, going into the locker room, congratulating the Bucks. And people wanted to trash him for that. And then I just kept thinking about watching The Last Dance and how, and I hate Karl Malone. I think he's one of the worst people of all time. But in defeat, he walked on to the Bulls bus and congratulated all of them for winning the finals and bounced off. And I was like, that's a classy move. Like, that's just a classy move. That's good sportsmanship. And Monty is the epitome of that. He teaches that to his guys to be better, to be better than that, right? And I think they try to take on that persona. And it's listen, we are very, very fortunate to have Monty Williams in the fold for sure.
The worst take of that entire finals than that Monty thing was that was Monty making it about himself.
He's never.
There's not a man who has never wanted to make anything about himself as much as Monty Williams. He wants to give credit where credit's due, and he was doing that with the Bucks. And he never disrespects the game, and that's what his team goes out there and tries to do. They're trying to not disrespect the game, and I love that about him, about this team.
Absolutely.
They do it right. By the way, I think Gerald has decided not to join us because he will not come back until we stop calling him Girth and bring back.
He's boycotting us.
Yeah, and bring back one of his other nicknames. He's just, I'm out of here. I'm not doing this thing.
Yeah, because it's been like 17 minutes now.
No, that's fine. We can move on without him.
You don't want to wait for Gerald,
Hell
or
no. I want to go to bed. I'm tired.
Well,
I got a 45-minute drive ahead of me.
I'll give you a few of the cliff notes. Deandre Ayton said Chris Paul was emphasizing to the team all night, don't celebrate your shots, get your ass back on D. So that was one thing that came from Gerald via Twitter. He said Mikal Bridges said he was saying get it back, as in I got it back after missing a three. Said he was yelling to campaign on the bench that he was going to get those 3 points back with the hard way with the and one. And that's what we're going with. So that's your Gerald update.
Maddie in the chat says, okay, Gerald, come on out. Come on out. We scared you. Lindsey RIP'd you. And then Chris in the chat said, should we pronounce it Girth? Would it help?
That's a great callback, Girth.
Do that on Saturday. Let's
Party
do
on,
it.
Girth.
Yes, I like Girth.
Okay.
It's like GIF, but GIF. I always like the thing.
We'll have Gerald do some sort of a little recap thing. We'll post it on Twitter because.
Can I give you a little crap for one of your picks that I just realized? You drafted somebody that people confuse for you. Is that like a vain pick that you went, we need two of me on my team?
Come on.
Was that the point there?
No, absolutely not.
This is true.
Because I couldn't find anybody as ugly as me to make that kind of pick on my team. So
no, it was not at all about that. I just think Cheerston's solid.
I'm not knocking Cheerston.
Yeah.
I'm simply
You're just giving me crap.
I'm giving you shit about it.
I know you're trying.
Oh, hey, just because you don't have as good of a team as I drafted, I'm
wish.
waiting. I'm trying to figure out in my head who we didn't pick, who's going to give me the most crap tomorrow, that they were left off the list.
Definitely somebody's gonna. You guys
the
are gonna
people,
get DMs.
The people we left off the list are very quiet.
Jacob's. I'm not afraid of Jacob.
No, Michaela. Oh, Michaela's gonna be so mad at you.
I have to work from home tomorrow.
Oh
crap!
Oh no!
Yeah, you are on her show tomorrow.
I've made a horrible mistake.
I mean, shit.
All right, guys, shall we say goodbye?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the podcast, hanging out with us in the VIP lounge. We will be back on Saturday, right here again on our YouTube page, pregame at 6:30 before the Suns take on the Magic, and then postgame again as always. We genuinely appreciate all of your support.
Appreciate you as well.
Please rate, review, subscribe, all the things. It helps us out a lot, and it allows us to be able to do this with you guys night in and night out. Until Saturday, you can follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_Suns. You can follow me at Lindsey Smith AZ. You can follow Saul at Saul_Bookman. And of course, you can follow Espo at Espo.
Would you like me to take it? Would you
Who
like me
is
to take it?
Bookman
Yeah,
Buffalo Butt?
go ahead, Espo.
Who is Bookman
Who
Buffalo
broke
Butt?
Espo?
Who is Bookman Buffalo Butt? It's on the screen.
No. No, there's no name. That's a no-name person. They're calling you Bookman Buffalo Butt.
Why?
I don't know.
I have a
Should
nice
I-
butt. I will have you know.
Espo, take us home.
He's our HR department too. To everybody,
You can say it about
to,
yourself.
to everybody at PHNX, you're all number one picks in my book. Ahoy, hoy.